David, as we wait for these numbers from Ford, we're not expecting anything fantastic, not just because of what we're seeing in terms of the chip shortage impacting demand, or in supply, I should say, but also because what you're noticing when you talk with dealers is that there are a number of buyers out there who they would like to buy, but they're not seeing the supply that they're looking for. So as a result, I wouldn't call it a buyer strike, but I think what we're seeing in the market right now is definitely a number of people who are saying, I want to buy, but I'm not just going to buy to buy. I'm going to wait until I can get what I'm looking for. So it's a bit of a chicken and an egg situation. We'll get the Ford numbers here shortly. We expect them to be negative, as they were for all of the automakers yesterday. The industry sales pace, 13.1 million vehicles. For some perspective in terms of how much the market has fallen off over the last 4 months, the pace of sales in April was 18.5 million. So it's down, 25-30% in terms of a pace of sales in just 4 months. And again, this is largely because the automakers just do not have the supply of chips to not only meet the current demand, but also restock their inventory.
All right, so Ford, the F-150 pickup production is where now, and what are our expectations again, given we're looking at it right there? Where were they? Just give us some perspective here, Phil, where they were and where they are.
Well, they're not meeting their what they forecasted originally. I don't have the exact percentage, David, but I can tell you this. Yesterday, the company said that the F-150 plant in Kansas City, which has been shut down the last 2 weeks, it's going to be shut down next week as well. And then you've got the F-150 plant in Dearborn, Michigan, going down to one shift. So there is clearly a restricted number of these vehicles that are being built. And I know from talking with Ford dealers, they've got people who are saying, I want an F-150. Do I have to order it and then wait? And in some cases, they do. And when you're ordering and waiting right now, it's going to be a lengthy wait because the backup in terms of the ability to get the chips and to complete these vehicles, it's there and it's real and it's going to last for some time.
Phil, I have to ask you about this Kathy Wood tweet from last night,
yes,
where she talked about how auto buyers, the decline in auto sales is really due to this idea that buyers are abandoning gas-powered vehicles in favor of electric. Is that the sense you're getting based on kind of the itemized demand that you're seeing within the market?
Right. No, that is not the sense that I'm getting. Here's what I think Kathy Wood was getting at. If you read her tweet carefully, she mentions the chip crisis, and she says it is a real impact in terms of what's happening with auto sales. She also says, I wonder what is happening as she believes people are abandoning gasoline-powered vehicles for electric vehicles. But she doesn't say it immediately, says over a long period of time. It is going to happen, but it's not going to happen immediately. And as far as a percentage of sales guys being up, it's up like 30% for EVs. We're coming off a really low base. So, yes, it looks like a big conversion, but we're just not seeing the numbers that would support her saying people are abandoning ICE vehicles at this point.
Phil, I think we got the numbers from Ford. I don't know if you had a chance to review them, but I'm seeing them come up here.
Down 33.1%.
Yeah, 124,176 units.
And remember, David, like August is typically one of the busiest months of the year for automakers. The sales, if they're not at the top, they're close to the top. Typically, we see a sales pace of 16 to 17 million vehicles. Sometimes it's closer to 17, maybe 17.5 million vehicles. We're nowhere close to that. And that's why you have what we have right now. There's just no inventory. And as a result, drive around to a dealership sometime. Look at how much empty space there is on the lot right now. That's because there's just not the supply.